Hello, property nomads. Hope you're doing well. So, Scotland is, well, Scotland's on the path to I don't know whatever the hell Scotland's on the path to, but this is absolutely madness, as you can see. And it's their new hate crime law that's come into force. And no, you couldn't make it up. It did come out on April the 1st. For those of you not familiar with some of the customs here in the UK. I believe that's April Fool's Day. Maybe that's a worldwide thing. I don't know. You basically you make up stories as you go along. I mean, to be fair, most days seem like April Fool's Day with the amount of jargon and crap that we're given in terms of news coverage. So, all jokes aside, this is Scotland's new hate crime law that's come into force, and it's kicked up a bit of a stir because what they've decided to do in their infinite wisdom is that the world is getting so soft and people are getting so soft and they're getting very touchy about, oh, you're hurting my feelings, this, and we can't say that, and oh, don't know about this, that apparently almost if you say anything now, it's considered hate crime. And we need to bring a law into force in order to stop people being so hateful. And since this hate law came in, surprise, surprise, actual crime in Scotland has gone up because the police are so busy dealing with people complaining about uh, other people's genders and whatever it might be, that they're actually not doing, dare I say, proper police work. But of course, this is what the powers that be want, and they think it's a good idea, and this is what's happened. As you can see, we're on this article here. Probably the most biggest critic. I'm not going to say Elon Musk as such, but J.K. Rowling is the biggest critic of this, and she was going at Twitter or X hammer and tong on the 1st of April when this was released. What makes me laugh going through this article is that the Scottish Government insists that the law provides protection from hate and prejudice without stifling individual expression. I mean, if that's not the biggest load of nonsense you've heard today, I don't know what is. And the best quote I have from that is, without a shadow of a doubt, and I quote, "I think there has been a lot of misinformation," end quote, about the legislation, said the Victims and Community Safety Minister, Siobhan, I believe that's pronounced Siobhan Brown. So there's been a lot of misinformation, which is funny because a lot of the stuff that's come out of the media probably for a very, very long time, but certainly in the last 4 or 5 years, has been, funnily enough, misinformation. You and I have been lied to about the potential benefits of things like, I don't know, face masks, or being locked up in your home, or the how useful putting shots into your arm may or may not be for your health. Uh, Climate change, climate crisis, all of these sorts of things have been, have been labelled as the truth, when in fact, actually, when you look into it and when you start digging deep into these things, you start to realize that we've actually been lied to a lot more than we think we've been lied to. Now, in my opinion, that's misinformation. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. I'm not sure on these things nowadays, but yeah, I think you'd agree that it's, as we would say, popcorn and kettle black. It's two-faced. All of this is so two-faced. It's unbelievable. Anyway, let's go into the nooks and crannies. And the Hate Crime and Public Order Scotland Act 2021, it creates a new crime of stirring up hatred relating to age, disability, religion, sexual orientation, transgender identity, or being intersex. I literally have no idea what that means. And of course, if you are found to be breaking all of these rules, or even just one of them, the maximum penalty is a prison sentence of 7 years. So be careful if you're in Scotland and you're just speaking. Just be very careful, because, dare I say it, someone somewhere could hear you, and someone somewhere could be offended by something that you said, and that could be a criminal offence, and you could be in jail. Unlucky if that's the case. Again, this article goes on to say that a person commits an offence if they communicate material or behave in a manner, and I quote, that a reasonable person would consider to be threatening or abusive, end quote. And if you're looking to stir up hatred based on the protected characteristics, then unlucky. And yeah, I mean, this just goes on and on and on and on and on. I mean, the thing with, uh, I mean, I could go through all of that, and it'll probably just make me more angry. It'll probably make you angrier as well. So probably not worth doing. But I mean, the point of this is that free speech isn't free, and it should be. And yet, like, I appreciate that with free speech, there comes things that are going to be better than others. They're going to be things that you can say or should say or shouldn't say. And I get all that. I'm not going to go into examples. I'm going to try and keep this as YouTube friendly as possible. But I think you get the gist of what I'm saying. That there's going to be a lot of far right things that are probably not good. There's going to be a lot of far left things that aren't good either. And this is the imbalance we have in media nowadays. Is that if you have right-leaning political views or you have far-right views, the minute you say anything, that's it. You know, you're bandished under, you know, whatever law possible. But if you've got far-left views, uh, then that seems to be acceptable. And sometimes the things that come out from the far left are a lot more dangerous than things coming out of the far right. But all of our minds have been trained to think in a way that, oh no, actually the far right's dangerous, but the far left is fine, and that is dangerous in itself. It's a good job I'm recording this from England, otherwise I'd probably be in jail by now if I was recording this in Scotland. And it's really a dangerous law that's come in. What's made me laugh from the time of recording this video, since that law's come out, there's been over 8,000 hate crime accusations made, quite a few of them against the first Scottish minister himself, which I find funny and ironic. But it's making a mockery that with, you know, when we've got rampant inflation, we've got loads of more important things going on in the world. To bring out a bill like this is very dangerous because it stifles speech, and if you stifle speech, then whatever that speech might be, then that's not good for your human rights. That's not good for you. It's not good for me. It's not good for anyone. And more importantly, is it's taking police off the streets because, you know, someone said, "Oh, so and so called me a whatever." Well, you've now got to investigate that, and it's just mad because I imagine, I don't live in Scotland, but I imagine Scotland, like any other country, has got its fair share of challenges at the moment. It might have too many people doing unnecessary drugs. There might be, you know, violence. There could be rapes going on. There could be all sorts of these horrible things going on, and the police might not be able to deal with that properly because they're stuck behind a desk dealing with so and so saying something about, you know, a person of this particular society or gender group, and it just doesn't sound right. I mean, it sounds like the 21st century, but I'm not convinced this is a way. This is a way forward. I should say that all of this is to deal with. You know, this is in Scotland. There's no such thing, to my knowledge, in England and Wales at this time. But again, this is a dangerous. This is a slippery slope that we're on, and it's not healthy. I hope that nothing ever like this comes into play in England and Wales. But it is funny that they've labelled or they've cited misinformation as you know, one of the reasons why this has to be brought in, or this law has been brought in. Where, you know, what do you think we go through on a day-to-day basis? It's just loads of misinformation from all of these, you know, public sources, and it's quite depressing, to be honest with you. And I'm sure you share that same point of view. So if there's a lesson to be learned, if you're in Scotland, just be very careful with what you're saying, because the Big Brother is watching you, and you could get reported, and you could be thrown in jail for saying whatever it is that you may or may not say whilst in Scotland. So just be careful. A small favor to ask, please do subscribe to the channel. Do like the channel as well. We're seeing a really good increase in subscribers. And again, that's because of action that you're taking from enjoying the content and everything we're doing our end as well. So thank you for that. We're working as a team here, the Property Nomads YouTube channel. So thank you very much and see you in the next video.